My parents thought that my fiancé was too ugly for me. But I was crazy about Mary, which was why I proposed to her a week after we met. The day after, my father called me to have a talk. He didn't believe that I had done it out of my own free will.
Don't worry. If you lost a bet or knocked her up, I'll help you with the money. Just don't marry her.
My father's offer made me laugh. I, of course, refused, and he was convinced that she put me under a spell. Moments before the wedding, my bride came up to me in tears. She found a huge lipstick line on her dress.
I wanted to be worthy of you today, but I failed.
I told Mary that I was the one who had to be worthy of her. I took the lipstick from my assistant and drew a line on my snow-white tuxedo. We showed up to the ceremony just like that. Everything went well until the sun started to go down. Then the guests saw Mary's face, and everyone began whispering,
Oh my God, she's so ugly.
And when it was time for a group photo, my father said he would believe in that farce. He showed me a picture of an ugly child and said that our kid would look like that.
Just think about how much he would get bullied. It's an embarrassment.
I didn't stop my father. I turned to the other guests and said, if anyone else feels uncomfortable, you're welcome to leave. My mother was the first to join my father, then my aunt and uncle, and finally, all of my friends. From my side, only Carol, my assistant, stayed. I told her that she could leave, but she refused.
You can be a jerk sometimes.
But not right now.
We had a great time after that, without anyone giving us the side eye or mocking us. However, when Mary and I checked out of the hotel, I found 2 voodoo dolls among her stuff. One of them had the same hairstyle as me, while the other had a nose just like Mary's. I immediately remembered my father's words regarding a love spell. Could it be that everyone was right and I was blind? As soon as we got home, I immediately burned my doll in the fireplace, as advised to me by the internet, and kept Mary's doll as proof. I needed to see if Mary's spell was working on me. I took my wife to the bedroom, and everything that happened there turned out to be even brighter and crazier than before. Maybe I was wrong, and my wife was innocent. I decided to get the second doll and ask Mary directly, but suddenly, my wife remembered that she was going to an exhibition with Carol. I tried to find out what the exhibition was about and where it would be held, but Mary stubbornly refused to tell me. She said that I needed to start missing her.
And if I tell you where I'm going, you'll immediately go there. I'm going to spend time with Carol. Just us girls. Get some rest.
As soon as Mary left, I called my assistant, and she said that she had no plans for the evening. Mary lied to me. I entered a taxi and asked the driver to follow my wife's car. She stopped by the business center, took the elevator, and went up to the 3rd floor. I jumped into the one next to it and pressed the 3 button. As I got out of the elevator, I saw a corridor with lots of doors. My wife had entered one of the offices, but which one? My attention was drawn to a door with an interesting sign on it. African Rituals and Customs Center. Mary walked out not long after, and I asked her why she was there. Probably a new doll.
What are you talking about? I'm looking for a plastic surgeon's office. I wanted you to make amends with your parents.
Mary admitted that she felt bad for being the cause of the conflict between me and my parents. So she decided to undergo plastic surgery and asked my assistant for the contact of a reliable surgeon.
Just please don't say anything to my husband. He loves me so much that he will try to talk me out of it.
Upon entering that office, Mary realized that it was a mistake. The man sitting at the table assured her that he would perform a miracle, not surgically, but with the help of the occult.
I think Carol was a little drunk and mixed things up. I'll call her now and get the right number.
I stopped Mary and called Carol myself. I told her I left my wife and was going to my parents to apologize to them for how I acted. When I got to my parents' house, they were already waiting for me with champagne. Carol was also there and joyfully threw herself at me.
I'm so glad that you saw through that freak and left her.
My parents hugged me and invited me to the table. My father suggested that we should toast to my assistant.
She opened our eyes to the truth. Carol loves you. Don't be a fool. You won't need anyone else.
Before they clinked glasses, my wife walked in. I got up and we hugged. I said that I was not going to leave Mary and that I just wanted to know who came up with that ridiculous story about a love spell. My assistant crossed all lines and was fired. And I told my parents that I expected them to take the first step if they ever wanted to reconcile. I wouldn't change my wife just to please them. And I wouldn't let a knife touch Mary's face. Then my mother revealed some wisdom. She showed me the first photo Dad and her took together. His face was covered in pimples. He was wearing a small suit and had a weird hairstyle. My mother said that it took her a lot of effort to prove to her family that my father was a good match for her. Mom's lesson worked wonders. While saying goodbye, my dad apologized to Mary and promised to stay out of our affairs forever. Sometimes people are beautiful, not for their looks, not for what they say, just for who they are.